Hello, today we're going to do a bit of flick eyeliner and, as promised, some eyelashes without the faux lashes, just for your sort of day-to-day look, because I think it's a bit much to expect someone to wear false eyelashes. They're just sort of, you know, trying to get out to work in the mornings and things like this, and really not necessary, is it? So what I'll do is I'll start with eyeliner. This is Revlon Colour Stay and it's black. It's like a felt tip pen. Personally, I find these are the best by far, because you get the most precision. The brushes are just very messy unless you're very good with them, and obviously a regular pencil is not really going to work for this because you're going to get some smudging and not the same precision. Anyway, sorry, I just realized that one of my brows here is not quite all it could be. Okay, sometimes I actually use brown, and that probably seems a bit odd because I think this has become the staple. Everyone goes for the black. If you look at, again, we're doing 50s eye makeup because this is only 50s eye makeup with this flick. But if you look at a lot of old Hollywood movie stars, they didn't all wear black, even with the flick. I'd say Marilyn Monroe in particular often wore brown as opposed to black. Today I'm going to use black just so that you can see it better, and I think probably most of you use black anyway. So it's I have very old skin. I'm probably a good deal older than some of you watching this, and there's also a misconception that once you hit a certain age you can't do this anymore because of the fact that you're sort of, you know, your eyelids become a bit like crepe paper, and they do, but it's okay. Find something that you don't have to drag across the eye. Again, this is why you don't want to use a pencil. I start here. That's just sort of at the beginning of my pupil here. I do not go all the way in. I suppose if you want something more bold, you could do that, but I'm sort of doing a bit of a Monroe eye here, and she would have gone from the middle and not all the way into the eye. For some reason when I have my eyes open this long and I'm staring into the light, they get very dry and annoyed. Okay. Now this is a sort of little bit of a different style than some of the other ones you may see. We'll do other styles at other times. This one, as I said, I'm going for kind of a Monroe eye, which means my flick actually starts quite low, as you can see, and it doesn't go very, very high up. This is to create sort of a little bit of a sleepy eye, which is kind of that classic, quite sexy look. Now this is another thing that's a little bit of a strange trick. Marilyn Monroe's makeup artist, Whitey Schneider, if you prefer, he created an illusion that became pretty much her trademark look, and that was that he would line just here, And the reason that he did that was, if you have very, very, very heavy eyelashes, it's going to create a shadow under the eye here. So it was essentially an illusion, a very clever illusion, but an illusion nonetheless. I'm only going to do one eye here because there's not much point in me doing both of them. You don't need that, do you? So if you want to go sort of traditionally, Marilyn did a couple of things with this. A lot of the time you'll see her makeup artist would use either a brown, soft brown pencil to do this effect, or even a line of soft brown eyeshadow. There are photographs where she actually has this in black to match this one for a bolder look. Today I'm going to use the black, which is less subtle. If you want it to be a little bit more subtle, then go with a soft brown pencil and you can actually smudge it a bit, but that's not what I'm going to do today. Again, I'm going to start about here, and what I'm going to do is, don't follow this to follow the eye, go straight. And I'm really, really using this very lightly, even though it's a pen. Okay. Now, just making sure you can actually see what's happened there. Okay. If you look at it in comparison to the other eye. Going to want to wait for that to set for a little bit. The great thing again about the pens is that happens pretty much right away. I have a heated eyelash curler, but I'm not really impressed by it, so I've just got my old-fashioned one here. Curling lashes, nobody really explains how to do it, so I'm going to do that. It's essential that you do this, otherwise you're not going to get the effect that you want. You absolutely have to do this. So you're going to want to get as close to the lid as possible. Give it a little feel there before you clamp down on it, in case you've actually just trapped your skin in there, which is never nice. Right, you're going to do that quite firmly. And this, yeah, I've got a lot of hideous faces I make in these tutorials. Unfortunately, it's not enough to clamp these, just clamp that. You're going to have to push all the way into the socket of the eye here. And in fact, you can even release it and bring it down a little bit. In increments. I have blonde eyelashes, which is why they are non-existent. When I can be bothered, I dye them, and that's not very often. I'm afraid. So I don't look good without makeup at all, I'm afraid. You know, people think, I don't know, there's this idea that, oh, it's great to be blonde. But if you're a natural blonde, you don't generally look as good without your makeup on as a brunette would. I have been using, I'll show you this product. This is an eyelash serum. A lot of talk about these at the moment. This one is Lash Pro. I don't know how much difference it makes if you use this one versus just your bog standard Lash. I started using eyelash serum because I saw a friend of mine a year ago who was visiting from New York, and I actually thought she had eyelash extensions, and I asked her about it and she said nope, that she'd been using this, and I just thought, nah, there's no way you're achieving that, that's just crazy. But I thought, I'm going to give this a go. The biggest problem I think people have, and the reason they think these don't work, is they haven't the patience. You have to use this for at least 6 weeks before you're going to see any difference whatsoever. When you do see a difference, you really see a difference quite quickly. And also there's the consistency element. You have got to use this every single night before you go to bed. You know, you can't just use it now and then and expect to get a result from it. It just doesn't work that way. Just make it part of your routine at night. It's a small brush like this, and what you will do is you apply it in exactly the same way as your eyeliner, just to the top lash. Do that before you go to bed at night, and I tell you what, it makes a huge difference. The next thing I'm going to use here is this is False Lash Superstar Mascara by L'Oreal. It's black. It's a 2-part system. Number 1, which is clearly marked, is your primer, and number 2 is your actual mascara. So when applying mascara, you have to again, I'm having to make myself really ludicrous and do this. You have got to apply from the base of the lash. If you don't apply from the base of the lash, you're wasting a whole bunch of lash. This is essentially the same idea as you know, having your eyelashes sort of professionally curled or whatever you use, because you're taking them from the base, which is going to extend them. Okay, now my eyelashes have grown so much with the X Lash that I have a really hard time reaching the end of my lashes, so I tend to go all the way around it with this, and like so. But I'm not keeping on dipping that brush, because if you do, it's going to clump like crazy. Make sure that you're separating. You don't want the sort of spider leg effect. What I tend to do is wait for that to get a little bit tacky. So just wait. I would now normally start on the other one, and then go, by the time I go back to that, this one is done. Right, so we go to the second part again, right from the base. And once again, keep things like a cotton bud handy and a little bit of makeup remover in case you happen, because what happens with me is, because my eyelashes have gotten quite long, I very frequently end up getting mascara on my eyes. It's a problem. Sorry, you probably wonder why I always say that. I have an uncle in Chicago, and he's got the strongest accent you've ever heard, and it's something he says quite a lot, and it's sort of stuck with me. It's a problem. So, as you can see here, this is quite effective. I've used a lot of these mascaras, and some of them incredibly expensive. I mean, incredibly. This is by far and away the best I have ever used, and it's about $10.99 for this product. I've spent £57. I won't name the brands, but they were absolute pants. Yeah. Again, I'm just waiting for it to get a bit more tacky so that I can just try and get these ends a little bit more. So I do really struggle to reach it all. Now, I was wearing false eyelashes the other night when I went to dinner with my husband, and he did not actually notice. I asked him, you know, I did say, ask him sort of, you know, if it looked any different, and he didn't think it looked any different than my normal eyelashes. I wanted to just get a look at the length of that. Okay, now again, this is a sort of it is a buildable product, so you can wait for it to get tackier. And look, I mean, that I think that's quite impressive personally. For the bottom, I don't use the same one because I like to have a little bit more control and precision. So what I use is MAC Extended Play. What the heck? Yeah, this is the black. This is the black. I think this is a waterproof one, but this is the Extended Play mascara. The reason I use this for the bottom is because it has this very tiny brush. I find that doing your lashes underneath can be messy. This is great because the detail, and you know, sometimes I just even use the brush. Like, I'll use this for the bottom. That one's got a bit caked. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, okay. Sometimes if I just want to get, like, the great thing is with this mascara here, the primer, I mean, it works with any mascara really. It's just the brush that they provide with their mascara is really good shape. So okay, you get a look at the difference. This is my everyday lash. I very seldom wear false eyelashes. I wear them, you know, if I'm going out somewhere nice. I think I mentioned before that I have Asperger's, so that creates a lot of sensory issues. Like, you know, there's certain things that you just really hate the feel of. For me, it's like tights, and in particular, and false eyelashes. Actually, I will wear them, and I do suffer through it. If I want to create the you know, a certain look, I will wear them. But the whole reason I started with the X-Lash was so that I could get away from being dependent on them, and I think it's worked really well. I'm very happy with it, and very happy with this product, which I've been using for years. Really good stuff. They do another one where the primer, have I got it here? The primer is black. Yeah, this is False Lash X Fiber, which is made by L'Oreal as well, and it comes in at about the same price. However, and this is great as well, but I actually had to stop using this because my eyelashes got so long with the X-Lash that when I was using the primer, because this primer is black, whereas that one isn't, the primer was just like getting all over here, and I was having to wipe it off all the time. So I had to go this with the white, the sort of transparent. It was white, but it, when it dries, it's like a transparent primer. But definitely feel free to try this one instead if you prefer. This is also just excellent, as good, I think, probably. Just I find it a bit messy for me. If you have any queries or there's anything else you'd like to see, please just drop me a comment. I was going to do some hair this week, but as you can see, I have some serious regrowth issues. I'm going to have that addressed on Thursday, sorry. So following that, I will do hair, because I just think you're not going to get actually an idea of how things look if it's, you know, it's just not at its best, is it? So I'm giving another look at that lash. I mean, I'm not sure if you agree with me, but I actually think that this is a great daytime alternative to false eyelashes, and it's good enough, definitely good enough, and it's a great product. So any suggestions for content, greatly appreciated, and once again, thank you for having me in your home. I have one eye, I should have I feel a bit silly now. So yeah, that's it. That's my no false lash eyelash tutorial, combined with classic 1950s Monroe flick eyeliner. I hope this has been helpful, and may you have fantastic lighting wherever you go. And please be kind and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.